Hello, greetings. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Henry Osamoye. I'm a student support specialist. Before I proceed, I talked about algebra, introduction to algebra. I did some few examples on algebra, and we're able to understand that algebra is a very interesting topic, and it gives you this sign of understanding that letters are used to represent numbers, and also in equation and in formula, letters and the symbols are used generally. Now, let me refresh our memory. For example, if we have a question like this, the essence of this question is for us to look for the value of this x and the value for this y. That is the most important. That is why this question is being like this. And one thing, as a good mathematician, mathematics will help us to build analytical skill and critical thinking. These are very good skills to have when dealing with anything that have to do with calculations and mathematics. Now, if we have something like this, we call this equation 1. And we call this equation 2. Of course, these are linear equations. These are equations that has to do with direct solving, looking for one value and the other value. But of course, this one is a simultaneous equation. A linear equation is something like this. We have 2x plus 3 equals to 10. This is example of a linear equation. Is direct, such that we can look for the value of x. Let me refresh our memory. What are we going to do in this case? You see, this is having 2x. This is 3. These 2x and 3, they are different kinds. They are not like terms. This one is having x. This one is not having x attached. This one is having. What is our main purpose? Our main purpose is to look for the value of x. So in this case, we'll do what is called collect like terms. In other words, we separate those terms that are not like, we'll separate them and we combine those that are like. For example, if you see 3 and 10 are like terms, such that we have to take this for my previous class, I said never ignore or neglect sign. Any sign that is before the value, we shouldn't neglect it. In mathematics, you don't do that. And remember, when you are crossing equal to sign, in mathematics, when you are crossing equal to sign, what you do, this sign will turn to minus. Instead of plus 3, it will turn to minus 3. You understand? Now, another thing you need to know in dealing with equations like this, either linear, quadratic, or simultaneous equation, is when you are multiplying signs. For example, you have plus times minus. When negative and when positive and negative, when they are multiplying, the resultant effect is always negative, is equals to negative. Note that the resultant effect, when this is called unlike signs, we call it unlike signs. Unlike signs. Then we like signs is plus times plus. These are plus times plus. The resultant effect is usually plus. You get it? So when it's unlike, the resultant effect is always negative. When it's like, the resultant effect is plus. Like can also be negative multiplied by negative. Negative multiplied by negative is equal to positive. Yes. So during the process of studying algebra with me, we're going to see all these applications. We are going to use this application. We are going to see them while working. So this is just to give you a fresh memory of what we are going to be using our application to solve series of questions. So now like this is an example of a linear equation. We have something like this. We collect like terms. This plus 3 will cross to the other side to join this 10. It will now be 2x equals to 10 minus 3. If you notice, what is changing here, the only value that is changing here is this one plus 3. 2x is before, then 10 is after the equal to sign. Then 10 is after the equal to sign. 10 is not changing, but what is changing is plus 3. Plus 3 is before the equal to sign, but here it's after, so it will change to minus 3. It will be 2x equals to 10 minus 3. We have 7. Now, in mathematics, we are looking for the value of x, not 2. We are looking for the value of s. In this case, what we're going to do, if you have something like this, you divide both sides by 2. Why? Because we want to cancel out such that 2 will stand on its own. If it is 10, we divide both sides by 10. If it is 50, we divide both sides by 50. If it is any value, this is called the coefficient of x here is 2. The coefficient of x here is 2. So we divide both sides by the coefficient of x. In this case, we have something like this. So it will now be 7 over 2. This will now be our final in this case. So now let's treat this simultaneous equation. A simultaneous equation. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. So in this case, what are we going to do? We have two unknown value x and y equal to 10. Then you can pick, you can pick from any of this equation. You make one of the unknown value the subject of formula. You make one of the value, like we have here x, 2x plus 3y equals to 10. X minus 2y. It will be easier for us to make x the subject of formula. Why? Because x is already standing on its own. So it will be easier for us not to stress ourselves. Of course, we can from equation 1, we can from any of the equation, we make one of the unknown value the subject of the formula. Because if we get one value, definitely we can get the other value. That is the logic in this simultaneous equation. What are we going to do? So we said, in this case, we said, from equation 2, which is x minus 2y is equals to 20. Now, if we are making x the subject of formula, definitely we have to push this to this place. That is the implication. Of course, x and 2y, they are not the same. 20 and 2y, they are not the same, but we just want to make x stand on its own to make it, maybe of course, to create equation 3, which is necessary. It will be x equal to 20, because it's minus 2y, if it's crossing, it will be plus 2y. We give this equation 3. Why? Because there is still two unknown. We don't know the value of this, we don't know the value of this, but we already established a formula for x here. We already established a formula for x, which is equation 3. So we leave it there. We not say, because we already know the value of x is equals to 20 plus 2y, then we substitute this x equals to 20 plus 2y in equation 1. Because we've not used this equation, we substitute this in equation 1, such that anywhere we see x, we put the O value. We put this O value anywhere we see s. That is what we call substitution method in solving simultaneous equation. We have different kind of method. We have elimination method also, but we are using substitution method in the purpose of this class. And mind you, this is a very good way of solving simultaneous equation, substitution method, because it's easy for you to analyze and get your answer quickly. Now, when we are putting this in equation 1, anywhere we see x, we put this O value. It will be, we have 2x plus 3y. You bring down this equation 1, you say equation 1, which is 2x plus 3y equals to 10. So now let's substitute. Anywhere you see x, you put this O values. It will be 2 into 20 plus 2y plus 3y equals to 10. Now, if you have 2, for example, if you have a bracket a, let's say b plus c. If you have something like this in mathematics, what it means is your a will multiply this plus your a will also multiply this. It will be a b plus AC. That is what it means. Now, in this case, applying this same logic to this, we have 2 multiply 20, it will be 40 plus 2 multiply plus 2y, it will be plus 4y. The essence of this is to remove the brackets, because if you recall your board mass, this B mean bracket, meaning in solving equations like this, you first and foremost resolve the brackets. That is what we have finally done. We have resolved the bracket. We've removed it because we don't need brackets. We want to, our main purpose is to look for the value of x and y. So now, in this case now, we have 4y plus, you see, 3y equals to 10. Now, you notice something logically with no x is not here anymore, meaning s have been eliminated by itself because we are trying to do a substitution method. Now you see the y, these are like terms. You see, now because we have something like this, it will now be 40 plus 4y plus 3y is 7y equals to 10. Now because we are looking for y and we have to collect like terms. We have to collect like terms. By doing that, this 40 has to go this way so that 7y plus 7y and 7y is the same thing. So for we to make 7y stand on its own, we have to remove this to the other side. Of course, 40 is positive here. If it's crossing, it will turn to negative. It will be 7y equals to 10 minus 40. What this one simply means is 10 minus 40 is equal to minus 30 because 10 is smaller. So this is 7y. Now, because we are looking for y, we divide both sides by 7. So y is equal to minus 30 over 7. Now we've gotten y. The next thing is for us to get this x. Of course, this will be very easier. X here is equal to this. So you just say, x has already given you a formula. So no need, no value here that is attached to s. X is direct. So what we need to do is x, since s is equal to 20 plus 2y. All you need to do is to substitute this y equals to minus this in this y. So we have x equal to 20 plus, remember there's minus, don't neglect sign. You do this minus 30 over 7. Now, I remember you have to resolve the brackets. Now, if you have something like this, plus times minus, remember before we start, I tell you how to manipulate sign. When positive and negative, when they multiply, the resultant effect is always negative. So in this case, it's always x equals to 20 minus 30 over 7. This is a fraction. Just make this a fraction over 1 so that you know that we are working with fraction. Your work will be nice. All you need to do, you look for the LCM of, we have numerator and denominator. You look for the LCM of the denominator. The LCM of, let's look for the LCM of the denominator. What are the denominator? The value of the denominator is 1 and 7. Of course, the LCM of 1 and 7 is the same thing as 7. So you rule your line, you put 7 there. Remember your board mass. Remember your board mass. Let's put the board mass somewhere here. Board mass. So 7 multiplying 1 is 7. 7 times 20. 20 multiplied by 7. 7 multiplied by 0 is 0. 7 multiplied by 2 is 14. 140. Minus is there. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 1 multiplied by 30, we have 30. So 140 minus 30, we have 140 minus 30. We have 1, which is 110. We have 110 over 7. Now this is the value of x. Hello, my name is Henry Nosamoyi. I'm a tutor at Mega Study Nigeria. The aim and purpose for this is to provide quality online tutor for you guys. Please, I would like you guys to subscribe, share. Thank you very much.